Hey, today we will be talking about support and resistance in trading. Support and resistance are key components to trading as they help us identify where to enter and exit a position. This video is part of my first video where I learned the basics of price action trading in 1.5 hours. If you haven't watched this video yet, it should pop up in the top right corner and I'll leave a link in the description as well. But now let's go to it. So let's have a look at support and resistance. In trading, support and resistance are key areas where price is likely to find support or resistance. Sounds obvious, but let's have a look at the chart. Let's go over to Tradingview and for this example, let's go to the USD yen pair. Let's go to the monthly time frame. And this is also something I've learned. The higher the time frame, the more weight it has. So let's always start with a monthly time frame in order to see where is the trend or where are obvious support and resistance areas, right? So let's go to the USD yen chart and let's make sure we have the auto toggled and the log scale on, right? And let's just zoom out to see if we see obvious areas. We can see this goes back to the 1970s, which is a lot of data, right? We probably won't need all this data. We are looking for an area where price was rejected several times in the past, right? Whether that be here in a resistance area or at the support area. And there should be at least 2 touch points, right? So I think that we could make out this area, right, as a resistance area. Let's zoom in a bit. Let's just try to draw that in here. Let's maybe give it another color. So red for the monthly and a lighter color maybe for the weekly, daily, and so on. But it is important, as I said, that we start with the monthly to see obvious price levels. And if we zoom a little bit in, so what we have here is an area where price touches here 2 times in the 90s and just recently, right? So we can probably take this area here as the main resistance area on the monthly chart. And let's see if we can figure out another support level. Let's try to zoom out a bit. Right, so we could maybe make this one here out, this line here, which is actually at a current price level, because we have here, here, and here touch points. So let's draw that area in again with the rectangle tool. And let's start over here because that would be our first touch point here. Second one. Right. And let's zoom in a bit. Let's bring this up here. Now, if we go a bit further, let's draw this a bit down, just adjusting it in order to have these touch points. And I think that probably looks good. So that would be an area, a second support area, a second resistance area, I'm sorry. And now let's try to find another one. Another obvious level, I think, would be this one here around 125. Right, because we had here, it acted as support. Here again a support, here resistance, 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 resistance. Here too, let's go a bit lower. Right, so this would be another obvious resistance area. Let's just make this. What we are looking for is an area where price got rejected several times, right? So we have this here with 1, 2, 3, 4, let's say almost 5 rejection points. Then we have this other support level here, which is also quite broad. I think that's okay. Not quite sure. But I would say, yeah, this here is this area between 142 and 134, because we had here rejection point. Here we went into this area. Here another. Here. Let's see if we can find another resistance level. Something more recent. It's this here probably. Let's draw again. It's probably a bit narrower. Let's drag this out here. So this, because we have here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So there are more than 12 touch points where we had rejections. And let's see if we can find another resistance level. Well, I think for now that looks good. And now let's try to find a support level. I think the obvious area would be the all-time low, right? So we have already here several months where price got rejected at this price area here. So let's just draw let's just draw this area in. This area here. We could go even, I think, I'm not sure if that's too broad, but we could go even up here and have this broader area here from 78 to 75, which would be key support, right? It never went lower than that. So that would be our key support area here down below. And another obvious area, I think, is this one here, right? So let's see how far that goes back. I think that's it around here, right? So let's take the rectangle tool again, and let's try to draw this in here. And let's zoom in to refine this a bit. Yeah, I don't know, more or less probably. Let's see if we can bring this up a bit more around here. So this is a very strong support area because we had here an entry point. This acted as a support. We broke through here, but it acted here as resistance. Then we break through here. We came back down, support, 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 another support. We broke through, it acted as resistance, right? Here again, a rejection, resistance, and support, support, and support. So if there's a price area which acted both as support and resistance, this is a very strong price area, right? So now it's acting as support, as we have seen here back in 2020. And yeah, since then we went basically straight up here. Okay, so another area I think would be this one here. So we had here rejection, 1, 2, 3 rejections here. And here it acted as a resistance level. We had here several entries into that area that got rejected. And again, here, right? So I think, I'm not quite sure if I drew these areas too broad, right? But I think that looks okay, right? If you agree, just or not agree, or if you have suggestions, let me know in the comments down below. As always, feedback is highly appreciated. Okay, so I think we get the gist. Key areas, key support and resistance areas where price got several times rejected. And yeah, let's see if we can draw here another, if we can draw in here another support area. Not sure, maybe this here. That would be another one. Right, so that's the monthly. Then we could go down to the weekly chart and see if we can refine this, or if we see another support and resistance area which wasn't obvious on the monthly. Right, maybe here also. That would be an area where we could draw in. Let's change the color maybe so we can differentiate between the monthly and the weekly. Let's take the orange, for example. So this would be a more recent resistance level, right? Because we had here, or a key support area or resistance area, because we had here 1, 2, 3, 4 times it acted as resistance. Here another time. Here it broke through and acted as support, right? So that would be in another area. So let's go down to the daily to see if we can find another support area on the daily chart. So this area maybe here. Right? Something like that. And also let's change the color here. So we know now yellow is daily, orange is weekly, red is monthly. So here we can see there are several rejections at this price level. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right, then we went down to this area which acted as support. We broke through this area, and this area acted as support here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 candles that got rejected at this price level. Right? So again, I'm not quite sure if I draw these areas too broad, right? But it's a good thing to have the different colors, that we know that this area here is a monthly area, and as I said, weekly orange, daily is yellow, so we know how to differentiate. how to value these levels as well. Let's see if we can have if there's another area, maybe here, right? Inside of this monthly, we can maybe draw something like this, right? Because we had a rejection here and a rejection here. And then maybe here. This could be another area because we got price rejections here and here as support. Right, so I think we could go even lower to the intraday time frame and the 4-hourly, which makes it more obvious, right? These rejections are more obvious now. We see here lots of rejections. Here also, if we go down to the hourly, right? We could adjust these areas, but I think that looks okay. Okay, so let me know what you think. Comment below. So yeah, I think that's it. That's it for support and resistance. Key takeaways are that support and resistance are very important levels because they can help us to identify areas where price is likely to reverse or continue in its current direction. They are an important part of the technical analysis when making trading decisions. The most important thing to remember is that they are not exact price levels, but rather areas where the price is likely to find support or resistance. And once price breaks through a certain level, a support level, this support usually comes resistance, and vice versa. When price breaks through resistance, this becomes likely support. Well, I hope this was helpful. I hope that these areas are drawn in correctly. If not, let me know in the comments down below. As I said, we are all here to learn, me especially, and I take all the help I can get. Well, thank you very much, and let's go to the next lesson.